Please subscribe to
Where's my
Ranters.
And I don't think my internet is bad right now.
You don't think it is? Well,
I
that's
think
good.
it is bad.
Oh,
I think it
no.
is bad.
What are you doing to your internet, bro? Why are you getting
Well, I think we had something done and the network, like the actual like cable plug-in network is something got messed up in the media room.
Mm-hmm.
So the network plug-in doesn't work anymore. So I have to use the Wi-Fi.
Damn, my boy has a media room.
Yeah, it's not really decked out or anything,
But still, you have a media room, man.
it's a big room. Just a room. Yeah. It's kind of the popular thing in this area to have extra rooms to store stuff in and never use.
Yeah. Just collects dust.
Oh my
Doing
God, I
occasional
have two of
podcast.
those. I have two of those, and I told Kylie this morning I have to fix it. I can't have two rooms that just have plants and cats. Like I need to put like a bed or a desk or something.
We got a lot. Well, we park one car in the garage, but there's a lot of people in our neighborhood that they have full, two and a half car garages, and they just have to park their cars outside because they have so much stuff.
Us too. We have a gym
There's
out
so
there.
much
We have like
stuff,
a
yeah.
weight room or whatever.
I got a little workshop set up in like one and a half of the garage, but we do park one car in there.
Okay.
Is it the van?
No, it's the older car.
Oh, okay.
Just because we use the minivan more.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, it's a family mobile. All right.
But it's Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. We're live already.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And,
I made a post in the group.
Well, awesome.
Come say hi in the chat. Anyone, everyone.
The cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got no excuses. You're not doing it. You're not doing anything on Friday nights, so you're not doing it on Thursday nights for sure.
Yeah, stop it.
Maybe
Quit
like
acting
trivia. They could be like trivia night or something, or
yeah.
I miss
at a kid's game.
I miss trivia night.
I've only done that a couple times.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. All right, so give me 1 second.
We went to karaoke last week.
I saw the videos.
Did you sing?
No, I didn't. But I drank like 20 beers in a row for no reason. Like at one point I was on one knee chugging a beer. Like
I do karaoke all the time then. 20 beers, you don't sing? Sounds like a good time.
Yep. Word.
Did Bill sing?
No, my friend Sarah, who comes to the happy hour sometimes.
Oh yeah, she would sing.
Used to be in a band, and I thought she's got a great voice. Like she'll sing rock songs, so good, like Janis Joplin voice type of thing. This one sang "Shoop," I wanna shoop, that one, and then she sang "Big Balls," which she posted in our group. Just straight comedy, and one song that her husband hates. She sang that just because he was there, so that she could piss him off.
Yeah. Yeah, you girls can never miss a chance to upset your man.
Yeah.
Always keep him agitated. It's
any opportunity that you can take.
Yeah, just piss him off. What are you gonna do?
Oh boy. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, let's roll.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 203 of your Endless Ranters podcast. We do what we want and we appreciate your support. My name is Chris. I'm one of your hosts for this evening. That's all for tonight. I'm joined by our other host. It's a Maxwell housewife in Crunchy Mom's world. It's Quana. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Missed everyone this weekend or this week.
Pretty good for a Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah. Thursday. Look at us.
And there's producer Manny. What's going down, ball man?
Chilling, son. Kind of throwing out
a plan.
Throwing for a loop here. Is like, hey man, we gotta get together on a Thursday. So no.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all being flexible. So yeah, we're recording on a Thursday night because here where I am, it's Friday night lights time season. So our local high school's got.
Hey man, we gotta get together.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. Yeah, I didn't see his mouth moving.
for a moment.
I didn't see his mouth moving. But Friday Night Lights, yeah, there's a big high school football game. My son's in middle school, but he'll be going to this high school, so it's all connected and part of the community.
Culture.
Yeah. So yeah, they run all the same play. They basically run the same plays and feed into that school. So, but yeah, we get to go. Our high school gets to play another big high school from around here, probably a much bigger high school, at the Ford Center, which is like the Star, which is like um, the Dallas Cowboys training facility in Frisco.
Wow.
That's
Damn,
cool.
bro.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I've never been in there before, but I mean, it's for high school football, it's $7 a ticket. It's pretty good value to get into a place like that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I've never been in before, so I'm kind of curious to see it. But I guess a lot of our district high school teams, whatever, get to play big games at this facility, which is part of the deal, I guess.
Right.
The city made with the city and the school district made with the Dallas Cowboys when they built this facility.
That's so
it's
fun.
it's a really cool area. They got like a full size AstroTurf football field outside of it. That there's always every night there's
practicing.
No, there's just kids. It's just for kids. Just for kids.
What?
And there's a lot of restaurants around there.
I think I've seen this facility on the
Dallas
Cowboy cheerleader documentary on Netflix, right? The outside football field. It's up next to a big building, right? It's like outside of a building.
Like I'm not a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, as some know, but I don't really care about them. Just to make it clear, I don't care about them. I don't care.
Hi, Britton.
I don't hate them. I don't care.
You're indifferent about them.
Yeah, I mean, they got a nice facility. It's, it's fine.
Yeah.
I guess that's okay. But no, like you really can't watch like any kind of Dallas Cowboys documentary or information about Dallas Cowboys without seeing this facility and the field and all that. So
fun.
There's like a big hotel next to it. And I mean, it's just a really nice place, really. Yeah. So
is it far away? Like we have to travel and spend the night, or you just go home?
Oh no, it's like 15 minutes away.
Crazy.
Nice. Yeah, it's
so
great.
Fun. That's fun.
That's good stuff.
Fun.
So that's what we're doing tomorrow night. We're going to go. The whole family's going to go watch this game. CJ will go run off with his friends that are there. So there's a lot of the kids from the middle school go. So
I'm very familiar, and it's so important. Like this is the best time, and that you're still invited. Because I mean, Kylie always invited me. We were invited through senior year to come to the Friday nights, but like it's so fun. Like it's important. This is the best part.
I think people really want to go. Like people, if you want to go because you want to make sure your son's there, you want to make sure the coaches know your son's there.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
You want to know that you support the program.
For sure.
All that. Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. But yeah, my son hasn't, he got, I guess I don't know if I talked about that. If we spun since that. Yeah, I'm sure we have, but yeah, my son got wrecked.
How's he doing?
He's good. He just finally got clear. He hasn't played yet. Okay. He finally got cleared to go full contact today. So everything, I mean, and it's been a lot of wasted time, but he's fine. So
good.
It's been a good week, but it's been kind of stressful because it's like, he didn't know if he was going to play. The trainers are it's a real CYA situation with the school not wanting to, having to follow their protocols so that they don't get in trouble if anything bad happens. So, but I'm excited. But there's only 3 games left in the season. It's kind of a bummer. Mm-hmm. But
it goes
is
so
that
fast,
for the high school
man.
season too?
What's that?
Is that for the high school season too?
That probably goes a little bit longer because there's proper playoffs and all that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. But middle school, 7th grade middle school football is not like the most,
right.
They don't really put them through the most strenuous season in training.
Sure.
A lot of those kids, that's their first time playing tackle football.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's kids that like, my son's played tackle football for years, and other kids this is their first time ever putting any kind of helmet on.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
It's a fun age.
It's nice to be around because it's really laid back, and you obviously want your kid's team to win, but it's not really that big a deal at this point. So
right, for sure.
No big trophies or
hopefully
anything.
Some dads they get into it. They get a little too into it.
It's pretty calm. I haven't really seen any signs of crazy parents.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I really haven't. I think like the last time I had like flag football, like many years ago, like 7 or 8 years ago, flag football, like one of the coaches got kicked off the field but it was like,
ours was
not a big
attached
deal.
to my player, so it was like always super embarrassing, like from afar, but it would be like, he's not my husband anymore, but it is super embarrassing for us that this is happening, like that the referee kicked him off the field.
Yeah.
So,
but no, I don't really see any kind of that kind of behavior, but it is getting more intense because the kids are starting to get a little bit more, I don't know, Lord of the Flies out there.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah. They're starting to kind of like understand dominance. Yeah. Yes. Like a couple years ago, I was like helping keep kids up. This year, it's like, standing over them, flexing,
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of that's a culture. Part of that's seeing other like NFL players do that too.
Right.
But part of it's just natural, like a natural wanting to be bigger and stronger than other kids.
Yeah.
So what are y'all up to? How's everything going?
Manny?
We've been kind of sporadic lately.
We have been very sporadic lately.
Manny got a haircut.
Yeah, you noticed.
Yeah.
Earlier today.
It was voluntary. It was voluntary, not.
It wasn't mandatory.
It wasn't a Diddy party thing.
No, it was no Diddy party. It was no shame, humiliation ritual. None of that.
Okay, good. It's good. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. I'm here for it. I love a bald head. It's my favorite.
I do know.
I feel bad for men that are like, hey, if it's going, it's going. Just embrace it. Let it go.
You hear that, Chris? It's time for you to just, take it all off, bro.
No, Crystal has hair. What are you talking about?
I know.
Yeah, my hair is pretty thick, so I always get a lot of compliments when I go get my hair cut.
If you got a baloney patch in the back, or if it's aggressively thinning in the front, you got to do something. You got to take a stand for yourself.
Yeah.
Baloney patch. I would like to refer to it as a yarmulke patch, but
that's what I thought.
It does look more like baloney, but you are brown. I mean, I'm not. I'm more in the white man realm. So baloney's pink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like little sunburnt.
Just a bit.
Oh, God, don't get me started.
FPF 70 on that.
Yeah.
How
No, man.
about you, Quano? What's going on in your? Oh, sorry, go. You weren't finished with your report.
Just living. We're looking for work. Looking for other ways to make work. I'm gonna be dipping into the world of Grubhub delivery.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, trying that out for a bit.
My son-in-law
kind of like that. I kind of like that. I mean, it's not, it's probably not ideal because it's, over time it kind of whatever. But I'd like that there's those things in place now where, you don't have to like go to like 20 places and fill out your paper application. You can like just kind of you got a car, you got something, you can kind of
heck, not even a car.
Create some value. You create some value from your car or whatever you have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also been playing poker on a consistent basis with a few of my friends. Okay. Yeah. So
nice.
I'm not as like apprehensive as like before when people were like, "Hey, you should come over play poker." It's like, nah, I just don't have any interest in it. Just kind of like playing a few rounds with these friends of mine that kind of like showed me the ropes. I was like, this wasn't so bad. So, kind of getting a feel for it and enjoying it.
Nothing like being unemployed and gambling. I love that.
The more I say these things, the more it sounds like, you're not going down a good road, mole man.
Well, like what about, I mean,
at least I don't drink. So I have that going for me. All right. I'm not a drunk.
Have you ever played, this is your first time playing poker, I guess?
Well, I played a few, like, I played 3 games, like, over the last 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. We played each night, so a handful of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like poker.
I think I got into that for a little while, not anything serious, but just because I think it was at the time where the, like ESPN World Series of Poker got popular.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, okay. And I don't know, whatever it was, they made the way they produced those shows, I think was it with the table cameras and whatever personalities they had.
The sunglasses that they would wear.
Yeah, it really kind of got people, and it was very intriguing. Now, like,
Shades.
I've totally lost interest, but at that
Right.
time, it was like, it was really, I mean, I'm guessing it's still going on and people are watching it on TV still, but at that time, it was really entertaining.
Isn't AJ Benza like one of the, like, isn't he on that, or does he comment? Does he play? He does.
Oh, I don't know. That would make sense that he
Jaden.
would get into that.
Yeah. I think he does some World Series of Poker. Is that a thing? Is that
That
what you
is
just
World
said?
Series of Poker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that'd be good for him. I don't know. Like, yeah, AJ Benz is kind of just
I
a.
unfollowed him because
Oh shit.
Jaden and him had some beef, and I was like, you know what? I'm only on
Haven't
this
they
page
had-
because of Jaden. Like, I'm
Haven't they
out.
had like they've had like a lot of ups and downs over the years?
Yeah, they have, right?
Like,
But they were on the outs, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to get out of this negative freaking group. So
yeah, he seems well. I mean, the way we were introduced to him was that he became a frequent guest on Adam Carolla talking about gossip of the celebrities, and this is even before like the Carolla divorce thing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like he was really good on the podcast, but also like this is not a really, this is kind of a slimy world that no one really like, people like to hear about, but like no one wants to be friends with. It's terrible, I know.
No,
it's like
right.
we want to hear that celebrity dirt, but we really don't want to be
Love it.
friends with guys like AJ Benza. Like, I don't know, because he's obviously like just got some very
Dark.
flexible beliefs about who to hang out with and what's okay. And it's like he seems like kind of a character that it's like whoever he's hanging out with, whatever they're doing and whatever's normal to them, that's normal to him.
Yeah, I think
whether it's gambling or whether it's like mafia kills.
He's done some things. I think that he's and
I just sense that whole like just something like real a little bit off. But at the same time, he does seem kind of endearing and like,
it's because he's also a drug addict, and so they have like this personality that's kind of like, he's also that. So I don't know. And then he left his wife for that lady. Just a whole thing. Anyways, a kasha, if you will. But he did report on the Diddy stuff early. Like I remember him talking about it like in 2019. For real.
Well, I guess now that it's come out, like it apparently like every day I see a new video clip from 1994 where it's like they were like, oh yeah, he's doing that stuff. Like, okay.
I used to like back in the day, like MTV and VH1 had like really, really ghetto reality TV. Like Love and Hip Hop was so ghetto. It was like Ray J and Cardi B before she was actually Cardi B, when she was like actually a stripper. Like all of these people were on these shows. Yeah. I was in bed, so I was just like addicted to reality TV. Like it hit it once, and I was just like, I was watching Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives, and I really did see like the progression of like how people change and how society changed. I remember telling Bill, because I had a friend and she started acting like the ladies on Basketball Wives. Like we would go out to lunch and she would get like loud and rude, and I was just like, what's happening? Like, why is this happening? So, but I told him, I said, I think his Basketball Wives is happening. And now look at people, they're just flipping out in public all the time. Like no one has any type of chill.
Yeah. Everybody's on.
But back in the day, like there was like,
there's no more.
Damn somebody. Like there was a bunch of these people were on these hip hop shows. Like even Russell Simmons, like real rappers had these low budget, like super low budget reality shows, and they would drop pieces.
That was like the early way of that, of like the big corporations. Like, well, I guess at that time it was like MTV, Viacom, CBS, of just paying these guys off, like just giving these guys like
Warner Brothers money,
sweet deals to tie them up. Or I mean, it was entertaining. Obviously, people watched it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I checked out after Flavor of Love season 2.
Exactly.
I got jaded. Exactly. I felt like
what left you jaded?
I mean, I felt like maybe they were playing with my emotions,
Yes.
Like I was being manipulated.
Oh my God. I watched those shows with my children when they were DJ's age. I swear to you,
My God.
we were watching Flavor of Love, and what was the other one? Oh my God, it was Bret Michaels.
Your kid's like your kid's like in like a high chair as a toddler. You're just like, do you think Nicole Richie and Paris will be friends again? Isn't this sad? Yeah, that early era of reality TV.
We've all watched. We were all tuned in.
I watched a little bit of it, yeah, but I think that if we went back, most people don't go back. You obviously have good memories of it, but like it would be really bad. Like like you'd be like, well, I remember this is way better than it was. Like
that bad TV podcast that I talk about that has Dylan Wren from the Adam Carolla Show and Patrick Hickey from Carolla Drinks. Right. They do a Flavor of Love recap and a Rock of Love recap. They watch it because they have a podcast called Bad TV. So they went back and they watched these old seasons. It's so funny. Like it's horrible.
Rock of Love, was that Bret Michaels?
Allowed. Yeah. It would never be allowed today. Never. They could never get away with what they got away with back then.
I feel like we're like a hair away from it coming all back though. You know what I mean? And like it all, like all those shows come back and it's all basically just nonstop sexual harassment. And it's like, and everybody's going to be like, didn't the Me Too era just happen? It's like, whatever. We're going to go start over again. And
put your bra back on. We got to burn them, baby.
We're just going to have a bunch of like young 20 somethings in the MTV party house and just see how it goes, you know?
Well, that is
play
really
competitions.
The Netflix, and I'm obsessed with them. The Netflix reality shows are now all like these, like where they put them in a house and they make them like one of them. You never see the person's face. They put them like behind screens. You never see the person's face. And the expectation is you ask this person to marry you. Like you find someone within all of these people.
Wait, is this the Love is Blind?
Love is Blind. Okay. Obsessed. My child has watched every season. She watches the Sweden season, the Mexico season, the Japan season.
They're doing it by country. Interesting.
This is a global phenomenon.
I want to see like the Iranian, like the Albanian versions even.
Dude.
So
like
funny.
Find some real back like Chad, if that's still a country. Like I want to see the Chad version.
My husband said, he's like, this is like therapy, honestly. Like watching these dudes and how horrible they are. Like I see what I should not be doing. Like it's good. All like, keep watching.
It's just all turning into like experiments, right? You're just like,
yeah, for sure. Social experiments.
Next, like let's have a reality show where like we just have a bunch of people and a bunch of dogs in a house and like see like just like who matches up with who, you know? That's like an innocent. I mean, I just came up with an innocent sounding one.
Oh my gosh.
That's where I come from because my heart is so pure. I came up with like an innocent idea of like, you know,
sure, Chris.
Big Brother, but with nice people and pets and cute dogs and cats.
Nice. That's cute.
24/7 cameras.
Cat cafe.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Just people just strangers being nice to new animals.
I love that.
And what, ignoring the older ones? How awful.
Yeah.
What they don't see is you off camera just putting animals down left and right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be on this I would be more like a behind the scenes kind of guy on this one.
For sure.
It's like simultaneously hands on and hands off.
Exactly.
For those that are wondering, yeah.
These two dogs. I got this new dog started digging holes again. Or not again, but just like
continues.
The first one did.
Just
the first one dug holes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was able to stop it from digging holes.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe questionable tactics, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the second one's.
What were the tactics? What were the questionable tactics?
I mean, I'm just encouraging the dog to live in the hole that it dug.
Okay.
You know, that's all. That's all.
How is that a bad thing? Like a nice, cool
that's
spot.
What I'm saying.
That's why they dig the holes. So
that's what I'm saying.
Them.
That's what I'm saying. My family's standing around like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just trying to encourage the dog to live in the hole that it dug in the yard. That's all.
Okay.
You know, there's no electricity involved whatsoever, you know?
Okay. You're really embracing that Asian father stoicism. I like it.
Yeah. And they're just like, what do you do? I'm just like, well, I mean, I'm all about results. So the first dog was digging holes. What did I do? I stopped the first dog from digging holes.
Yeah.
Second dog starts digging holes. I start working on this dog to stop it from digging holes. And, my track record of the hole digging stopping, completely ignored, questioned, you know what I mean?
Oh, the second dog's too cute to be left in a hole by herself.
Not for me. But you want to dig a hole in the yard, you're going to live in the hole.
It's the baby.
You're not going to like this hole. This hole in this yard is going to become a real negative in your life, dogs.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah. All I'm saying is I stopped the first one from digging holes in the garden, in the yard, and shrubs everywhere,
Yeah.
Middle of the yard, digging holes. So I'm going to stop the second one from digging holes.
I know. I
would appreciate a little bit of trust and faith. That's all.
Well, you know what? I hope that works out for you.
Oh, it will. It will.
Because we got a little digger over here and I just beat his ass.
Whoa. So. Easy with that word there, Quanah.
Like I said, the tactics sometimes a little ugly, a little rough, but
it's a little
the
rough.
important thing is you need to create a connection between hole digging and discomfort.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I had to get the kids out there attacking me. It got ugly last night, but it's fine now.
You get no respect, I tell you.
Yeah.
I tell you.
The kids. He's got it's the girls probably.
I was yelling. I was out there. No, it was my son. I was like yelling to my son, like, "Have you ever stopped the dog from digging holes?"
I'm not being rhetorical with this question here. Have you?
He just started walking away, and I was like, "You got nothing to offer in this situation."
Yeah.
Watch and learn.
That's good.
I mean, I feel they got big hearts. I get it.
Yeah.
But still, now they're digging holes. I got holes in the backyard. There could be a mud pit over the winter.
I was going to say,
we're getting in the season
before the seasons come. Yep.
Now we're in the season where it's kind of starting to cool off a little bit, and now the grass isn't going to grow back. And now
you want a big mud spot. You got to hose her down every time she comes outside.
I mean, that's pretty much what my life becomes. Is that I'm giving whenever it rains, I'm basically giving dogs like 10-minute foot massages with towels. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And I'm like, got them on their back. I'm like, got a towel on their paw and I'm massaging every paw to like get all the mud and dirt out of their paw so they can go inside,
Right.
And they're fighting me the whole time. They're trying to bite me the whole time. And what I'm doing, I'm giving them like a full body massage with a soft cotton towel.
I told my husband, I'm like, I need a pergola or something outside. Like I need something covered. I can't be washing feet and I need help.
And then when they're done, they just like flip up and they run off. And I'm like, I have a hard time standing up straight because my back hurts. Dude. Seriously, I'm like, now it's like 2 dogs, 4 paws each, 8 paws, 8 paw foot massage every time it rains now. I gotta get get like a tub or something. There's gotta be some kind of like device.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Maybe you could develop a workaround where it takes less effort off of your back, your hands.
They make a little it's like think of like a toddler cup, how the Cheerios stay inside. They make a cup like that you put water in and like wash their feet like that. Like just
No, as helpful as that is, Quanah, with all the recent news about automated kitty litter boxes eating cats, the last thing we want to do,
really?
Yeah, is give Chris a
made in Haiti. Gotta watch out for those foreign-made cat litter boxes.
I've always wanted a litter robot, and I just cannot pull the trigger. I just can't pull the trigger. I just can't. I can never. I put it in a cart. I'm like, okay, and I get all my accessories, and then I'm like, I just can't pull the trigger. And then they started killing cats. I was like, well, this was a sign. Like, I should have known. I got to keep scooping my litter for life.
Only the slow and dumb ones, though. You know what I mean? Only the slow and dumb ones.
I got
like, how terrible of a cat are you if you get killed by a robotic litter box? You know what I mean? It's a pathetic cat. No one's going to feel sorry for that cat. It's like, everybody's going to be like, what was wrong with your cat?
Terrible reflexes. It came defective from the factory. It lacked reflexes.
It was 29 pounds. It was 29 pounds, and you really couldn't even like tell where its legs were anymore. Got choked out by a robotic box.
So yeah, the last thing we want is just for Chris's dog's paws to be eaten up by like some fucking water tub or water cup, or I don't know. Imagine.
I mean, the thing about that is like, a neighbor's not going to be like, I got bad news for you. Your cat got eaten by a coyote or something like that. No, you're going to find your cat like choked out in a litter box. All because you were too lazy. You
to scoop it out yourself.
Yeah. You could never forgive yourself. Yeah. You honestly could never forgive yourself.
That's a lazy, I mean, those cats are killed by the laziness of those owners. Yeah.
I had a neighbor bring me my dead cat.
What if it had a Bluetooth camera in there? What if they weren't even home, but it had a Bluetooth camera and they got a notification and they kept getting like red alert notifications and they had to like walk and they're like, get in the car.
No,
and they're driving. Like, I gotta get home.
Those cat boxes have notifications of when your cat goes.
Like, I bet I'm not.
It gives you the whole deets.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of half joking. I'm sure there's probably some that are like, would you like to make sure that your cat has evacuated its bowels? Well, we got a 4D camera in this model. Like
watch it all go down in 4K. I'm curious. The owners that did get those automated litter boxes and ended up getting their cats killed. Do they replace the cat, or do they just forego pet ownership from that point on?
Yeah.
I mean, if you murder your cat, I don't know.
Indirectly murdered your cat.
Right. I don't want to say that it's litter robot because I think it's like an off-brand litter robot that's being reported that's doing it. So I don't know, but yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's what PetSmart and Hearts would tell you. Cheap counterfeit Chinese robotic litter boxes.
Those Temu boxes
entering the market.
I mean, that's a good
question.
Like
if that happens,
is Temu like Amazon?
I honestly don't. I mean, I did order a few things on there early on, but when you try to use that app, they throw so many discounts and Price is Right type games at you, like spin the wheel for your discount. It's so confusing that it's just like, I don't even care. I'll just pay more for something. It's just like, this is really, I don't know. You got to really value a couple dollars to get on Temu and buy something, because it's like they really spin you around like crazy. And you're just like, what am I getting? Like, it really is so confusing.
Maybe
I don't understand why they do that, because it's like, I would buy like whatever, some common made Chinese fish net or whatever.
Right.
But you're confusing me with all these things you keep throwing up. So
maybe they're trying to appeal to the market of a buyer that likes to barter. I think that's what it is.
Oh yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
It's a wild stash, shot in the dark.
I mean, in other places of the world, that's common. That's like a normal.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. It'll be like, you know what? Let's take bartering and put it on a digital front.
It's so confusing. It's
backfiring on them.
It is for me. It is backfiring.
Yeah.
I got to think most people are having a lot of people are having that same experience where it's just like, what is this? I'm just trying to like get this good deal for $8 and now I got to play.
I thought it was like a China thing. Like I never even downloaded it. Like when I see Temu stuff, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to click it. But I remember you saying early on that you ordered something like some fishing stuff or something. It
is a Chinese thing. It is. I'm sure there's all kinds of.
It's always been a Chinese thing,
but it's like I think when I read about it early on, it was like the article was like, but all the U.S. companies are doing the same to you and worse, like much worse.
Amazon for sure.
And then you're just like, well, but those are U.S. companies, right? And they're just like, well, no, because Amazon has all their servers in China or wherever. It's just like there's no difference. There's no.
Gotcha. No,
or it's like people that I'm not going to say I use Gmail. You know what I mean? So it's like Google knows every appointment I have.
Nice.
So it's like, it's kind of not it's kind of silly to be too worried about using Temu or something.
Okay, well, I'm on it then. I'm gonna look because I see so many cute cat things on there. Speaking of cat
no,
things.
but you will, right? And you'll click on it, but then you'll be taken through an endless
No, I know how to navigate that though
rotation
because of Shein. Shein's like that too. It's got like the things that pop up where you click and there's like X's. You just have to find them. It's weird, but yeah, I understand. I know what you're talking about. It's weird. I don't know why they do it.
Yeah, and then I start thinking like I'm Xing all these things out, but am I missing? Am I like missing out on some like free stuff?
Amazing
and then it's just
deal,
like, fuck it. I'll just go without it. I forgot what I wanted in the first place. I don't even need it. Just go start a fire.
It's good. That's good.
Oh, man.
We've been smoking some meats over here.
Yeah, you smoked a prime rib? What is okay? Yeah, you definitely live in basketball town.
I do.
What kind of?
I was like,
how
you smoked a prime rib?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you're supposed to smoke like cheap meats? But I mean, I'm sure it was delicious.
Is that what you're supposed to do? Because Bill didn't like it. He's like, I'm used to prime rib tasting one kind of way, and I didn't like it. I was grubbing it up. It was so good.
I've never heard of a prime rib being, well, not that I know everything, but I've never seen a prime rib being smoked, but I do see people smoking just about anything just to try it.
We don't know. Like, what are we supposed to be smoking? Like a brisket?
Yeah, like briskets, pork shoulders.
Okay. We've done wings. Yeah. We did ribs. We've done chicken and stuff like that, but we just wanted to, I guess we want to see what beef tasted like smoked, but brisket is beef too. So, I mean, I guess we'll just have to try a cheaper cut of meat. It was good. I thought it was good. I made it into tacos today. It was delicious.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it would be delicious. Yeah. It's hard to mess it up, but it's like, no, with brisket, it's a cheap cut of meat that there's not much you can do with, but if you cook it low and slow for a long time, like all the fat, like that's kind of tough for fat, breaks down and just turns into whatever that liquid is. You get
that layer, the colors or whatever, right? On brisket where it's got like a red, it's like
a smoke ring.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's smoke or like a chemical. I don't know. I watch a lot of videos. Like it's either like smoke or it's really more like a chemical reaction.
Okay.
That makes the smoke ring.
Okay.
But I mean, for the most part, because like if you spend a lot of money on a prime rib, like a really good cut of meat, it's because it can be cooked in like 4 minutes on a skillet and just, destroyed and eaten really fast. Whereas like a cheap cut of meat, like brisket or pork shoulder needs a lot of time. So, it's like kind of crock pot stuff, stuff that you would need to cook low.
There's a lot going on out there. It's a lot of grill and smoke and
you got a nice like pellet smoker, so I'm sure it has came with a manual, like a cookbook with all kinds of deluxe stuff.
It's got an app that you can be like, I want to make, and it's got all these recipes that people put in. I don't know if it's the people or the company that puts it in, but there's a bunch of recipes. And then you click on the recipe and it tells you how long, and then you can click a button and it turns it on to the temperature that you need it and the time that you need it.
Yeah, it's like an outdoor smoking oven, basically.
My girlfriend told me that
there's really nothing wrong with it. I guess you could do, you could probably do that. Sure.
She bakes her cookies on it. She doesn't ever turn on her inside oven.
I wouldn't mind. If I got one, I wouldn't mind one. I do like my stick burner, as they call them.
Yeah.
Just cause fire, just burning real wood and all that. But it does take up a lot of time.
That's never started a fire.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. But I like doing the fire, but it's also like the convenience of having a pellet smoker. I think the main complaint in the groups I'm in are that sometimes with the Traegers or whatever, people use different flavor pellets. I guess you can even get charcoal, pure oak charcoal pellets even.
Okay.
But yeah, I think people try to focus on making sure it's pure wood and not any kind of additives or anything like that.
Right.
But I think the main thing people get worried about with those is that it could last 10 years, or in 2 years, the motors that make the pellets go could fail. And it's fuck,
Nice.
it's out of warranty, and and it's kind of expensive. So
I think we bought it at
yeah.
Costco though, right? Like you can literally take it
Yeah,
back
you might be able to do
forever,
that. Yeah.
right?
That's
I
good.
think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that'd be a good place to buy it.
But they
Yeah.
had like a road show. And so it was considerably marked even from their
Yeah.
website. So whatever.
That's
And
the
like,
thing I think that people because it's like when that happens, you get like it ruins a cook because you don't find out that your pellet smoker, like whatever I forget what
yeah,
they call it, the thing that like
yeah,
makes the pellets go in. You don't find out that broke until you're like not home and your
right.
brisket's not cooked, you know?
Exactly. I've,
So,
you
and
know
then I
what,
guess
as a
like in the
crock pot
customer
cooker,
service,
I've definitely dealt with that, like where you forget to turn it on or
yeah,
something happens and it's like you come home and it's not
people,
done.
people complain about like the customer service because I think what they had to do to make those pellet smokers somewhat affordable is like they can't really now they all of a sudden they've got, you know, 5, 10 times as many of those smokers out in the market and not as they really can't afford to hire all the customer service reps to take all the support calls and stuff like
Oh,
that. So
gotcha.
this is minutia, but it's like there's stuff I pick up in the group. But
What'd you call me?
for my
Yeah.
for my smoker, eventually like it'll just kind of like the metal box will start to
Will burn up.
fall apart,
Yeah,
you know,
gotcha.
because of like just extreme heat. And then I'll
Well,
need to get like a something heavy duty.
our gas is attached to the house and then it attaches to a grill that was here when we got here. And it just has never been good. Like the first night we moved in, everybody that helped, I was like, I'm gonna make some steaks, turn it on. Like it's like been a nightmare. The grill has
Don't
been a
get hot
nightmare.
enough. That
So
sucks.
yeah, it's never been like nothing sears right. It's the worst grill ever. So if
You could
anything,
detach
it's
it. Well, I don't know if you could you could get like a kit and detach it from the house and just hook it up to a propane tank. Maybe
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know much about that, but
exactly. I don't either, but it's nice to have this that like boy, the searing of steaks, like we've like it's really nice. So I'm enjoying that part of it. So
yeah.
maybe I'll make some cookies.
I really want one. I would really, yeah, I would really like one, but I don't really, I don't know. I'm kind of like my personal, I don't like to rely on, I don't want it to rely on electricity.
Right.
That's kind of my thing is like,
For
I want to
sure.
cook this thing and it doesn't rely on any kind of electricity or anything modern. So
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know.
I do.
Even though we took the car to the Kroger to get the brisket, it's been in there. It's been in
Yeah.
the garage fridge for the weekend, and
Exactly.
So you want the important part, not to have to rely.
got a TV hanging above above it, watching the game.
Yeah.
Can't really just really adverse to
Beers will
technology.
be cold.
You know what I
Your
mean?
beers will be
Not
really cold,
yeah,
probably.
yeah. Just
You know?
but the meat's got to get cooked on just fire.
Yeah. That's good. I like it.
Yeah, that's good. I could see one in my future, but we'll see.
Well, Christmas is coming, buddy.
Keep your fingers crossed, bro.
Yeah.
I want one of those big ones. I want one of those big, like giant tankers you got to hook to the back of your car to like travel around with.
Nice.
What are we doing? Like tailgating and cooking at the fucking stadium, dude?
No, just I put it in my backyard and that's all. That's where it would stay.
Oh, okay.
No. Those are just big. Those are like tens of thousands of dollars, those things.
The big, like, I watched a barbecue cook-off thing on Netflix, I think, and it was really impressive on how like they would give them like weird things and they would make like an old box fridge, turned it into a smoker. Like it was
Yeah.
like some sort of barbecue showdown and a bunch
Yeah,
of
some of the
like
groups
hit
I'm in,
masters.
people will share pictures of like homemade smokers they've made at like their
Yeah,
off-grid places, whatever.
sure.
Yeah, like that's kind of where it started. Yeah.
Yeah,
This little smokehouse or something.
yeah. I like it. I mean, I thought the smoked prime rib was delicious, but
Oh yeah, I see people
I'm
like
easy to
they smoke
please.
like not I think like ribeyes or something like that.
Chuck eye.
Like smoking chuck roast steak, something like that you normally wouldn't like grill or something like that, but smoking it first and then searing it
Yeah,
after it's been smoked for a couple hours just
that's what my
to
girlfriend
actually
said.
cook it.
That's what we did too. We
Yeah.
reverse seared the the prime rib. Like we smoked it and then we reverse seared it to get it nice and crispy on the outside. And I mean, it was so good and it was cooked perfect. And it has the thermometer that goes in that's attached. Like it's all on your app. You can stop it, start it, all the things. So I mean, it's so easy. But yeah.
Now the Chinese know exactly what you're doing.
How to
cook, what meat you're smoking, like exactly your meat smoking preferences.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm fine with it. You know, honestly, at the end of the day, it
probably makes them jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, they're got to be like, damn it.
Yeah.
These people eat a lot of beef.
My neighbor is Middle Eastern, and I'm not sure. Like, maybe she's vegetarian. I don't know, but like, she's so tiny and frail.
Have you asked her?
Like all this smoke like blowing into her, like I feel bad.
Yeah.
So, but we're not doing it. I mean,
it smells good though.
I think so. I thought it
smells amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy with it. It's fun. It's fun. Now we need a Ninja cremini so we can make ice cream and then we'll be set.
Oh man. So what have we been talking about this week?
That was one thing I forgot to ask before we started. If there was a little list or something that was gathered.
I need structure. So when you take me out of my confines, I have no structure.
Oh yeah, that's like a Friday morning thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could start with Donald Trump's. We didn't ever talk about a second assassination attempt and how that's been weird.
It took place near his near the resort or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous of these people that do like a daily show because there's literally like
so much stuff,
crazy stuff. I mean, we chat about these things for a pretty good chunk of time during the day, but every day, but like, there's so much craziness going on every day. That was that was 2 Saturdays ago,
right?
2 Sundays ago that happened.
Yeah.
And then since then,
his son got arrested for having like 120 gigabytes of child porn. Like, what the frick?
How pissed is that kid at his dad? You know what I mean? Because first of all, it's like embarrassing as hell. Like, oh, my dad's crazy and tried to kill the president.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, what? Oh, the Secret Service wants my phone too? Oh, damn. Oh,
it's like, what the fuck for? Nah, man.
Oh, damn.
Turns out that whole family is like
it's like, I hate my dad so bad.
It's like, thanks a lot, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what a day that must have been for this freaking creep. It's like, because at first he was like saying stuff. He was saying that like he was estranged from his dad. So it's like it all starts to add up, you know, like this is just a crazy family that may or not have gotten used by some other organization. But
what about the dude having like $70 in his bank account, but yet he's flying to Ukraine and like recruiting people to come fight in the war? Like, what in the actual fuck? Like, imagine if that was your dad or your brother or your neighbor that was just like, I'm going to Ukraine to start this recruitment campaign.
Well, I got a feeling that like everybody that knew this guy was like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was just a matter of time. We had a little
like you swimming there, you swimming, you're going on a drone, you're taking a dinghy, like a paddle boat. Like everybody was like, oh yeah, that sounds about right for this cat. You know,
magic carpet ride.
Not a magic carpet.
And I'm sure like as soon as like they busted his son for having a bunch of,
you're like
pictures of kids on his kids, they were just like, oh, yeah. Saw that coming a mile away.
Shirt flipped up, and like the way his chest and stomach it looked like he's like an alien on his body. Yeah. Like it was like the whole thing is so.
Wait, why were they taking photos of him shirtless?
A lot of soy protein shakes for that fella.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Soy, so much soy. Quit eating soy. Makes you grow
boobs.
The
guy looks like.
I should actually eat soy. Oh my God. Be right back. Get some tofu in my life.
Give you all the tofu.
I mean, I don't know. It's such a distraction. I mean, I don't know. Cause he wasn't gonna get it done.
Right.
But it is like, well, okay, this is a big distraction. I wonder what's going on, and the P. Diddy distraction as well. It's like,
They're meeting
this has
at
got to
the
be a distraction.
WHO and the UN to discuss like the next pandemic, being able to like completely take over, like not giving people a say about what's going to happen. Like we need to figure out a way that they don't get to say what's going to happen. So
I mean,
that's
I
going
don't.
on. Like they're meeting they were in
Yeah,
New
there's
York
like
meeting.
there's long-term weird things that they're trying to cover up with all these like crazy like explosive distractions, but there's also like two major things like war in the Middle East
Wow.
and and us sending more troops back to the Middle East and like a war in Ukraine and
$6 billion
like,
we just gave to them today to
I think
Ukraine. 6 million.
I thought they got
60 million.
I thought they got 8 billion and then Israel got like 8.6 billion or something like that. It could be off. You know, what's a billion here and there between.
I had to get rid of my SUV that had the low profile tires because literally, like, how many flat tires can you get on the freeway from potholes? Honestly, how many flat tires can you get on the side of the road and still be able to drive on the freeway without anxiety? None. Like, I can't drive on the freeway anymore. Too many flat tires from the potholes. Crazy.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But we're giving all this money to Ukraine. I mean, not that potholes are a big deal, but I mean, obviously, listen.
There's a lot of fixing up. There's a lot of fixing up and to do around
we got
here.
some stuff going on that we could get fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like entire school districts, entire schools of kids that don't read and do math at their grade level.
They're lowering the standards because COVID fucked those kids over so hard.
Well,
and we're not talking about that.
COVID really just kind of like,
we're not supposed to. That's why
COVID didn't. More like they were already fucked over. It was more like COVID just kind of like dunked their face in a pothole.
Like little kids that never saw, like the age where kids are speaking is like 14 months out.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just saying they were already screwed over because
they're in America.
Okay, great. Yeah, they would have learned like, well, I'm talking about if they're like in Baltimore City or Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. They would have learned to read or like speak a year earlier, but by the time they got to like 7th grade, they wouldn't be able to fucking spell.
Their water would be so contaminated, their brain isn't functioning.
Well, that too, but it's like they wouldn't be able to spell. And Baltimore water's fine, but like they wouldn't be able to spell. They wouldn't be able to like do math. They wouldn't be able to pass a test or like, and then just like passed on through.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're screwed. Like COVID just like made it worse. But some of those places, they just they spend so much money per kid. And the kids still don't achieve their goals.
Yeah.
And but we're paying for the pensions of retired Ukrainians.
We're helping our brothers and sisters.
We're laundering money through their country back into ours politicians' pockets. In my humble,
for sure,
uneducated little Indian girl opinion.
For sure. They're Kamala Harris and the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, were at a munitions factory in Pennsylvania this week.
Is the guy that was
campaigning and with Volodymyr Zelensky from Ukraine. They were signing munitions, signing bombs or shells or whatever they are.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's pictures of it. They were having a good old time, like smiling.
The bombs that are going to kill civilians. Yes.
But don't worry. We're not at war with Russia or anything like that.
No.
Dude, this is gross, man.
It's
it's crazy.
How anyone is still voting. Like, how do they not see that on the news? How do they not see that on the news?
I think Russia's bad and I don't like what's happening. I wish Ukraine would win, but it's like something's not right about this. Like no one's congressperson is ever asking them, what do you think we should do, American citizen? Do you think we should keep giving them money? Do you think we should force them to negotiate a peace or anything like that? Mm-hmm. Anyway, my point was that like these distractions are like, we have wars going on that are escalating.
Yeah.
That are wrecking Ukraine. I mean, Ukraine at the end of this, when this all does get settled, Russia's going to own, I don't know, a third of Ukraine. Mm-hmm. They're just going to have it. And then the rest of Ukraine is going to be completely controlled by the West and Western corporations and Western governments that gave them all this money. Like,
yeah.
I think something similar. I'm not a history expert, but I think something similar. If you look at the history of World War II and after it, like England came out of World War II owing the United States like shit tons of money, which made their country very poor. Like that, like made them they had to make some tough decisions because they had to pay this money back. Now, probably at some point we forgave the loans or whatever, but yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. And they're going to wind up having no control, no autonomy. They're going to fast forward 20 years where Ukrainians resent America because there's Ukraine and we're not, and there's no war anymore, but they're realizing that they don't really have any say over
right. That we just
their
use
laws.
them to launder a bunch of money. Yeah.
They won't have any say over their energy policies or agricultural policies or even stuff like who gets to marry who policies, stuff like that.
That's the part of that country, all of the white supremacy that's going on over there and how judged we are for being racist in this country. But yeah, we're just supporting this full on swastika bearing armsmen. It's so fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, my belief, like Ukraine to me is Russia light.
Yeah.
Diet Russia.
Diet Russia. Yeah. That to me, it's like kind of like yeah. Like these people are
even
not
worse
very far
they're fully
apart.
Embedded with the US.
Because I read these news stories about like the Russian military and how awful their tactics are and how cruel they are. I'm like, what are the Ukrainians like? They're like us or something? Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. They kind of have a similar value on life that the Russians do, which is just, I don't know.
Do you think that we're
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like it's a little lower.
Our military isn't doing things to people?
Yeah, I'm saying I feel like we have a little bit higher value on life. A little bit. Yeah, I do. I really do think so. I mean, just look
at our own citizens and our own veterans rot on the streets and we shove them full of fentanyl. So I kind of,
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it's just not as many. Not as many.
Well, I don't think they have the same type of problems even over there. I mean, honestly, that we're letting our people die from.
Well, I mean, if you just look at like Russia and like the Soviet Union, their war tactics, World War II, and like they really don't like in the United States, like our culture. I'm biased. Our culture, we do have kind of like a thing where we're like, our soldiers are dying. Hey, scientists, get to work and make cool new stuff to protect our soldiers because we invest a lot of money. We invest a lot. We value them. They're like, and in Russia, it's just like, let's just have a draft. Like that sounds like in Russia, they're just like, that sounds really expensive. Let's just draft 100,000 new recruits and throw them at the front line.
Yeah.
Because we're different. We're a little bit different. Not to say like the Western culture doesn't sacrifice some people, but we do try to pretend like we don't. And it does seem like over there in Russia and Ukraine, they really just have like a little lower threshold for.
There's more honesty.
A little lower threshold for how value a village is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and if we do it, we just like, we at least, we do like crazy things to cover it up. They're just like, They're just like, It's like that village was kind of asking for it. And also,
plant's still fucked up. That's been since like 2010. So
they're just like, well, you did that to one of our villages. We did it to one of your villages. Just like, it's just different over there. I think also they're used to, like in modern day American culture, we're not used like being brutalized by other people is very foreign to us or most of us in our country. But I think over there, it's like being brutalized by your neighbor, like is a little bit more common in those areas because it's been going on for, 1,000 years or so, where it's just been just rough. It's just a rough area to live in.
Riddle me this though. Do you think that there's any level because I'm a firm believer of once you've been lied to, then all truths have some question to them, right? So what if, like, all the stuff that we know about Russia, I know that yours and my generation specifically were raised to think all of the things about Russia. Like, what if,
Yeah.
what if we don't fucking know? Like, what if we really don't know? What if we really don't know?
Well,
I mean, there was a 90 Day
that is
Fiance
true.
episode where they were over in, I was like, is that what Russia looks like? I didn't have any idea that there's like parks and it's like, it's beautiful. Like, there's,
Yeah.
do we not know? Like, have we?
There are a
Some
lot of, I
people-
mean, there's a lot of, I think we're hopefully like in 2024 modern era, people realize like, man, we got a lot of misconceptions. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah.
there's like nature parks and zoos, even in like Lithuania or whatever, wherever. Like, just think of like the worst, smallest, poorest
but there
countries
was
you
like
can think of.
there's some like cook-off show on Netflix and it was like Korean food. And for whatever reason, like, why did I not think that there are Italian restaurants in Korea? Of course there are. I was like, they're making pasta. There's like some Italian chef in Korea. Like, why is that so? Like, I'm honestly, I don't know, obviously, but I don't know. I'm wondering if the things that we've learned about Russia, like maybe we just don't know. Maybe it's not what we've been told it is. Maybe they have an Italian restaurant in Russia that serves like the best pasta and lobster. I don't know. Do we?
Yeah, I think about that sometimes. Yeah, our generation, for sure. Like I grew up like
Under the desk. We were in the desk. We were raised to
yeah, I
hear
never
them
had to
from,
do the
like,
desk thing, but I did remember, like I've talked about that, but I remember watching, staying up late, like sneaking up and watching, like turning on like Nightline or something. And it's just like pictures of, you know, like those videos of like that fake town being incinerated by a nuclear
Yeah.
blast or whatever. And being
So
like,
good.
I'm 10 years old, like watching this shit, like, like I'm afraid to ask my parents if it's going to happen. I don't
Hey,
even want to
there's
talk about it, but
50-year-old
I'm
men that
seeing
still
it, you
believe in
know?
that video. So
But it was like very scary. So I mean, that's like, it's really hard for me to not think negatively on Russia.
yeah. But
And
that's
really, but
conditioning,
then,
right?
but
Programming.
no, well, part of, yeah, sure it is.
Yeah.
But part of my conditioning is, well, I mean, if you can grow up like a Navajo and you're going to be conditioned to not like the Hopi or whatever, you know, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but like part of that is like, I was conditioned to not trust or like the Soviet Union, which
Right.
included Ukraine and all those people used to be
Right.
part of that deal.
Exactly.
So like, but I guess so after the Soviet Union fell, we're to believe that like Russia remained bad, but all the Ukrainians like instantly became like just great Westerners and like share
Right.
all of our values and our values for, I don't know, our for our values for people that are different from us.
Yeah.
Whether they're black people or gay people or Asian people or whatever, like not
Right.
wanting to round those people up, like those kinds of
Yeah.
values. I don't think they share those types of values so much.
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
they're
the Russia-Ukraine thing
welcoming to
is
some of those.
funny because Bill worked for a car dealer like maybe like 7 years ago, and they were Russian. And then after he went back, he left, he went work somewhere else, and then went back to them. And when he went back, they were like, we're Ukrainian. They like switched their whole thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't tell anyone we're Russian, we're Ukrainian. Like, it's so close, it's the same. They were like,
Yeah, I don't think it's hard for us to, you know, growing up in like a solid country,
yeah,
you know, that's just
Exactly.
established and good and kicking ass. It's like, it's hard to imagine growing up in that. I guess if you have a traumatic childhood, maybe you can kind of imagine that, but like, it's hard to imagine growing up in where your country is not stable.
yeah,
Like I think I mean, we take that for granted. It's impossible not to take that for granted that your country is just so stable. And yeah, maybe not up in November, but it's like the way we've grown up. It's like stable. And
so
you
far so
weren't gonna,
good.
like, if you lived in Texas or Maryland, you weren't concerned about like aggression from Virginia or
Right.
Oklahoma, like,
Yeah,
because of what those people did to your ancestors 400 years ago. Like whatever, back in the days of the Slavs or whatever, like back in way,
Yeah.
it's just like, no, we all moved here at the same time, pretty much. We all moved out there to Oklahoma and Texas at the same time, and no blood feuds.
My people were here, but
well, yeah, were, but no blood feuds anymore.
Yeah.
Speaking of blood feuds, but yeah, and other parts of the country, no, there's like ancient blood feuds still going on.
Yeah.
That's definitely an American privilege thing.
Yeah.
To just not have the blood feuds like the Middle East, Israelis. Like I was trying to explain this to my son, like that these things go back so deep that
it's so deep.
Like I was like, you can't imagine hating anybody. Like you think you hate like your friend that, because he was a dick last night at the playground or whatever. It's like, no, you don't.
No.
You don't understand the levels of hate these people have for each other.
It's bad. It's bad. Bill also worked for some Iraqis, and the hate is unreal. Like nothing like it. But also the love. I mean, they're very loving people too.
I guess. Yeah.
He had to go to some funeral for some dude that worked there, but like it was like everybody in that community, like I guess they're Muslims, even though they didn't know the guy. He was just like a kid that died that was Iraqi, but like all of these people from the community came even though they didn't know him, because that's what you do. Like, and I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. Like, just
maybe,
to show
maybe we need to start hating it. Maybe we need to start hating more, in this country. It's
done and done.
Maybe you need that. Like, no more, like not like the low grade hate, like real, like active hate. You know what I mean? Because it's like you need to like actively to really have a passion for your people and loving your people, like you're describing. Like you really need to have
too well.
You really need to have like a extreme hatred for another people.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happened to the Caucasians. It's like we don't really don't hate anybody anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
but
so
then,
blended. Everyone's blended.
But the downside is like then you're not really that passionate about your own family. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, kids. Kids. Whatever.
We need some deep-seated hate.
Yeah, you need some.
But that's, I think, the Civil War that we're talking about, and how you say we need to break up with half of society. That's where it's going to come from. We're going to find our deep-seated hate on November.
I hope not.
In 39 days.
I sincerely hope not.
What's going to happen? I do think the numbers look good. I mean, it's a little bit worrisome because the marketing machine behind Kamala is like extremely powerful. And if for people that are just like barely tuning in and out, they're seeing someone that is joyful, like, and knows some words.
Turkeys.
Says things like holistic, uses big words like holistic and holistic approaches and things like that. Because those are the same kinds of phrases I'm hearing in my meetings at work about taking a holistic approach to sales. It's like, so when Kamala starts talking about taking a holistic approach to immigration, and people are like, yeah, give me more catchphrases. That does work.
I think you need to take a page out of her playbook and take a holistic approach to hosting.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I was.
And ranting. And ranting. I'm sorry.
we stopped talking about holes. All right, with the P Diddy conversation.
Dude,
P Diddy likes to take a holistic approach.
The stuff that is coming out about these down low, not going to use the word, but you know what I'm saying. What artists in the actual frick were they doing? Like, all of this did I tell you guys that I watched that movie Blink Twice? Did I mention that?
I think you so. Did.
It needs a secondary disclaimer because it's so dark. Like, they put a huge disclaimer. The whole screen was like, listen, if you're triggered by
this, and this,
don't watch this movie. And I was like, but 3 days later, I'm still thinking about it. Like, it needed a secondary trigger warning that was like, no, really, like, don't watch this. Even though, like, I've seen the Podesta videos. I've seen it all. I feel like I've been on the dark web. They were showing stuff. I've seen it. I've seen all the horrible things. This movie just was like,
what's it called? Blink Twice? What's it about?
It's called Blink Twice. It's literally like the P. Diddy story. Honestly,
okay.
it's white P. Diddy. It's just crazy. It's so bad. Like the things that they've been doing, they've been drugging and raping kids and girls, and it's just all out there. And like, still no one cares. It's Bill every morning. Sweet Bill. He's like, it's not on the news. I'm like,
For a reason.
It's not gonna be on the news. It's never gonna be on
Yeah,
the news.
we get like, yeah. What was it? So people got real crazy about, and there was a big uproar about like the Haitians eating cats and dogs in Springfield a couple weeks ago. But like, then there's like in this last few days, there's a case where there's like 4 illegal immigrants in Nantucket. Nantucket, a freaking little tiny little, rich island off the coast of Massachusetts.
Right.
What were they up to?
4 illegal raping kids. I'm sorry, allegedly, but charged with some pretty heinous crimes.
Yeah.
4 of them on Nantucket.
And you think of Nantucket as like storybook. Like you would want to,
very
like
secluded.
A dream vacation would be going to Nantucket. Like it seems so picturesque.
I went there as a kid. It's like really small, and it's perfect, and it's like idyllic, and they got illegals raping kids there now. They're in Nantucket is a border town.
And CNN will be like, it was 4 guys. Like they make it sound so big. There's only 4 of them.
But my point was like, and then people are just like, I think it's tough to like really intake that information. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I feel so
if you're seeing it in passing and you're on your way to a meeting, you're on your way to pick it. It's like, I understand like some people just don't want to think about it. I don't know. It makes me angry, and it makes me like, I don't think my kids are at risk of that, but it makes me angry that my kids will grow up in a world where that continues to exist. And maybe I could have done something, said something about it. So that's kind of where my motivation is. Like, I know I'm, the world is an evil place. The world, it's a fallen world. So these things are going to happen, but I don't know. I don't like the fact that my kids are going to grow up in it and
have to
eventually grow up and pay taxes and have our taxes go to like funding this crap or defending these people or hiding and covering up for these people.
Yeah.
But like, with the back to like the whole, like the P. Diddy and all those stories, just like the debauchery is like, I'm not even sure if a lot of it could just be a bunch of bull, a lot of it, but it's like, dang, it is ubiquitous. It is
786
everywhere.
dildos is a lot of motherfucking dildos, brother.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, was that true?
Yes.
Because I feel like we're getting into a space where I am seeing so much stuff.
It just sounds feels like a game of telephone.
It's not really possible for any one person to like fact check everything that's coming at you. The 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I think those are drugs. I don't know if I heard
claims that came from Diddy's lawyer that they were bought at Costco. And then all of a sudden, and then like a half a day later, Costco, and you think this is a joke, but it rarely happened where Costco came out and was like, no,
we don't sell baby oil, bro.
We don't sell that in bulk or whatever.
Why would we sell baby oil?
I'm sure they have. They
you
probably
buy one
sold
bottle,
like
you have it for the rest of your life.
They probably have. At some point they probably sold like a 128-ounce bottle of Johnson & Johnson's baby oil, but it's like they even came out and made a statement like, what are you talking? Like Costco could have just not said anything.
Yeah. But the fact
they're like, no, you're not going to tie us into this. Like, no, because the lawyer was like,
"There's name out of your filthy mouth."
That's right, because the lawyer even said something in his statement like, "There's a Costco right down the street," and it's like, what?
Like, don't Costco right down the street. Why do you need to stock up? You can just go buy more. You don't need 1,000 bottles.
But then you hear like the 784 dildo. It's like, all right, I can't possibly fact check all these insane factoids that are coming at me about this story.
It's only 2 and they're part of the story. So, it's hard to wrap your mind around for sure.
That's a lot. That is a lot. You know what I mean? By anyone's count, you know what I mean? Even if you round up a little bit on your personal average,
Or
you know what I mean?
down.
Still tough to hit those numbers. Still a long ways away. Somebody had to take pictures. Let's get into this.
Yeah.
Somebody
had to count them.
There's always a photo.
Somebody
There's
had
always...
to.
No,
yeah,
stop.
There had
No,
to have been a team.
Let's start at the
beginning. A multi-person team.
Stop. Start at the beginning. We're gonna start at the beginning. Okay. Someone first had to open the closet door.
I think there was a.
It's a rookie.
Room.
It's a first. No, please here. I gotta. I'm channeling this. It's a rookie agent.
Right.
It's a rookie agent. He's on probation.
Let's go, Proby.
He's got pleated pants on, pleated khakis on.
Oh, they're wearing tight pants. Ugh. I noticed the other day. I was like,
and he turns.
Those FBI agents are wearing the hip huggers.
He opens that closet door, gets out that big mag light. He turns his flashlight, turns that flashlight, and he starts to gag. He starts to vomit violently. Because he notices like just boxes and boxes of dildos, and some of them are still glistening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, some of them still seem like they had not been
crusty,
sterilized yet.
Yeah.
Gross.
Like Farnsworth, what was the guy's Farnsworth Bentley hadn't come through to sweep the room yet.
Yeah.
Sterilized yet. He's like throwing up everywhere, and like the senior agent's just like, you can't throw up on the evidence. This is all going to come out of trial.
Yeah. For sure.
When Diddy's lawyer's like, did you throw up on those dildos?
Diddy is not long for this world. There will be no trial. Just on record for that.
He is definitely not going to live.
See,
he's definitely not dying of old age.
They were scattered around because did you see how sprawling that place is?
Okay, I mean this makes more sense, but still, that's a lot of scattering.
Hundreds of agents, right? And they're all going through, and they're like, I found another one, and then like centrally, like bring it in. You know, as they're like an Easter egg hunt. Honestly, like.
Sidebar.
Think about what Diddy's doing.
Sidebar,
maybe
Your Honor.
He's jamming butt plugs in people when they're just chilling on his outdoor couch.
Sidebar, Your Honor. While your argument is persuasive, I would argue that that's a lot of gathering. You understand how much square footage you would have 784 of those like spread out? No, I'm arguing, ma'am, that just based on the science and physics, that they would have to have been stored in a concentrated area. In shelving units, bins.
You think there was a designated dildo room? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yes. Because I mean, when you say scattered, it's like you'd be tripping over these things. I mean, like that's not like scattered is like one in the corner here and there, one on the coffee table. You know how many coffee? They don't have. You know, he's got a big house, but he didn't have 784 coffee tables.
You have to watch Blink twice. It's possible.
No, well,
they're everywhere.
Maybe
they're everywhere. Yeah.
You mean tripping on them like maybe maybe that's different. Maybe they opened the door and they were like,
Did you see all the bottles of baby oil? If you have enough square footage to store 1,000 bottles of baby oil, you definitely have enough
strengthens my case.
That's just one dildo by each bottle.
Yeah, that strengthens my case. Actually, I'm back on this now. That if you look at how he stored his baby oil on shelving, like he had a contractor come in there and like measure stuff out, like how many inches is a baby, like how many linear feet of shelving do you have to store 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Mm-hmm. It would make a lot of sense that he would also have that contractor be like, I also would like you to do a dildo closet for me.
Shelf.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Full shelf.
Well, of course,
you're
yeah.
right.
Like,
you know how the rich people display their purses,
shelves,
and their
like
shoes.
There'd probably be like
displaying his dildo collection. Like go in and pick out whichever one you want, baby.
There's probably like some like not all of them, but some of them were probably featured in like pneumatic drawers. Like you just like wave your hand over one of them, and like a drawer
opens up, pops out.
Oh, so you're saying that they might have been outside of the room too, scattered.
Some of them
be both.
Like
could be a mix.
The nicer, like the higher end ones. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Not me, maybe Manny.
No.
No.
Even through all my escapades, never saw some shit like that.
Yeah.
He could have even had like a collectibles little I don't know what you call that piece of furniture, like the glass display furniture.
Yeah.
Like some people like have like Civil War soldiers or like their father's war or memorabilia. Some other things that they hold close to the heart and the bum.
I love that it was a mix of butt plugs and dildos.
I love that the very first story that the feds were just like, we're going to give you some, there was no reason for them to, there's no reason for them to be like, we found 1,000 bottles. Like normally it's like, there could be like a school shooting and they won't even tell you the race. They won't even tell you they won't even show you a picture of what the person looked like for 2 days.
Right.
Yeah. This happened and like within 2 hours, they were just like 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Yeah. Sponsored by Johnson & Johnson.
With pictures.
Yeah.
Well, they must, if they knew that quickly, they knew they had information about this prior too. So
yeah, an informant, you mean? Like a baby oil informant?
Yes, exactly. There's a CI in all this involved.
Let me recreate this scene. Like the CI coming. He probably got like a drug problem. And he's telling the agent's just sitting there like, come on, what do you got? What do you got for me? What do you got? And he's like, he got 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Like, no, he didn't. No, he does not.
And the agent just like slaps the informant, like slaps him, because it's like, it's not a really respectful relationship. Just starts smacking him like, what do you got for me? Like, stop making shit up. I'm thinking like Al Pacino and Heat.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's trying, and that guy's like, he got 1,000 bottles of baby oil in there. Al Pacino just starts yelling at him. Like, you better give me something. Then it turns out true. It's like now they're like close. Now the cop and the informant are like, or have a better relationship. You know what I mean? More like a trust relationship.
Right. They're like, man, we see some shit. Yeah, man.
He's like, guys, hey, we're laughing, but it's so much deeper.
He's like, hey, Ricky, man, I'm my bad on that one. Next time you tell me there's 784 dildos, I'll believe you.
I think the dildos and the lube is how they're keeping us distracted, though, honestly, because it's so layered. Like, I saw something today about how, I mean, Warner Music is involved. It's crazy.
There's a chance. I mean, I think it's a high probability that this guy does not die from old age. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And soon.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's a chance that this drags on. Donald Trump wins. The DA, whoever brought these charges, realizes that this is going to be pretty tough, because he's going to hire, $50 million with lawyers to like just go to town on every little thing we do. And they're just like, there's really not the public appetite to destroy this guy anymore because, Kendrick Lamar is real big now, it's Super Bowl. So it's like, and Diddy's kind of old news anyway. So it's like, he's going to plea out, have a deal.
God, I hope not, because it's so much deeper. Anybody that's going to that.
Well, no. Well, I'm saying that because it's so much deeper.
Yeah.
Because it's like, does any maybe some of our federal district attorneys and like prosecutors are Elliot Ness type characters, but I don't think so. I think they're kind of like, this is going to be a whole lot of work.
Well, isn't
that? And I'm going to be going up against, and I work for the government, and we're the government, but we're going to be going up against fucking, an all-star lineup of attorneys that are going to try to like turn everything we do into like, we're corrupt.
Yeah.
And if those attorneys come and be like, all right, Diddy's going to admit to this and this and this and this, and we're going to give you a deal where you, as the prosecutors, you feel like you're going to win too.
Yeah.
And have to do a whole lot less work. And he'll be, there's a good chance he'll be free and just with a lot less money.
I don't know.
With a lot less, a lot of people talking about like just, obviously a little less respect from the community.
I don't know. I don't know that you recover from this. Like the stuff that.
I mean, he's not going to be producing hits. I'm not telling you. I'm not saying that.
I don't know that you recover from this. I don't know that you get out. I don't know that you get out. I don't know that he's ever going to see. I think like Harvey Weinstein, everyone was super surprised that they didn't release him. So I think if he doesn't.
But Harvey Weinstein's victims were nobodies.
Damn.
No, I'm serious. Like his victims were literally like zero value.
Not Justin Bieber, not Usher, not
Yes.
yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Like that's
no,
it.
this is deep.
Or
like this,
I'm sorry, his victims were like Gwyneth Paltrow and Jennifer Lawrence.
Right.
Well, they were women as opposed to men, and that is a different cat. Like, yes, there are a lot of women victims. There's also a lot of male victims.
Like Harvey Weinstein was,
which is going to be a hard pill for people to swallow. It's going to be hard to think about.
There's that. Yeah, I think that's
Sean
true.
Combs getting railed by Will Smith. It's going to be hard to hear that Jay-Z likes to fuck P. Diddy. Like, it's going to be hard for people to swallow that, especially considering how like hard people go for music. Like, that's my like. Think about Britain and the Bone Thugs. Like, he goes hard for that. You know what I mean? And then imagine him finding out that the Bone Thugs, I think that about them, but I'm just saying
you make a good point. It's
going to be hard for people to accept that this is the reality of these people that were supposedly going so hard and made a whole generation of gangbangers and Bloods and Crips and Kendrick Lamars. And
I don't think it's about. I don't think it's about the populace though and the people. It's more about a lot of power players that have a lot to lose. Yeah. Weinstein himself generated a lot of revenue, but his victims generated none. P. Diddy himself, he generates a lot of revenue. All of the people involved with him also generate a ton of revenue. And that's a very different situation. So that's different. That's different. I don't think, but to your point though, what I'm seeing is like the people that you would think go hard for Diddy, like I don't think he really has that big a following anymore. Sure. I don't think so. To me, like my limited view of the say African and hip hop community is like
I don't think
they're ready to throw him in the trash.
That's what I'm saying though. Yeah. The people that have been recorded doing the horrible things that he has been blackmailing to stay on this whatever. Like that's where the shock and awe is going to come into this.
It is. And we're talking about a couple of different things. I think to some degree, that's what's going to make them want to settle and just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Because the people don't have an appetite for for all these big star revenue generators to get destroyed. But at the same time, my limited view is that, no one really cares. Like there's nobody defending any of Puff Dad, any of P. Diddy's. There's no one defending him. There's no one defending like Meek Mill or anybody that.
Wait until it's Beyonce. Wait until it's Oprah. People are going to have thoughts about those things.
I'm sorry. I see that community like they're done. They're done. No, I don't. I see them. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you're right when it gets serious, but I see hints of them being ready to discard Jay-Z as well.
Sure.
Because if you really want to look at, you can look at Apple, these guys aren't creating hits now. Like maybe they're producing something. I'm
more concerned about Snoop. Like how hard are they pushing that motherfucker on the general population?
I mean, I'm seeing
he's at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
He's on The Voice. Somebody posted in a group that he has like a daily affirmation. You can ask Alexa to give you your Snoop Dogg daily affirmation. He has kids books. He has kids affirmations. Like he is Martha Stewart. Like he's literally so mainstream.
He's
part of it.
Well, Snoop Dogg he's a special one because he's universal. But so he represents, he's like the embodiment of so he's the embodiment of like laid back, chill, relatable. Anybody could talk to him. Like just seems like he could get along with anybody. That's really good. But he's also the embodiment of high all the time.
Yeah. Which, how is that
like
acceptable? How is that like
or
the
just
nation's grandpappy high all the time? I know that for my grandkids that is the case, but I mean, how is that like a thing?
Also like non-threatening, like just
Skinny.
this man does not pose any kind of physical threat.
Right.
He doesn't seem to be quick. Like that's part of like the high thing is like this person is not going to outrun me, like not going to out, you know, like not going to outthink me either.
Right.
This person seems very, and again, I'm getting the embodiment of all like this person is docile.
Right.
This person, like, I see this person cooking turkey with Martha Stewart, and it seems like Martha Stewart could probably knock him down. Like just very, I don't know. It's like it embodies a lot of like good and a lot of bad at the same time.
Right.
It's a tricky one because he's very likable and not hard to dislike. But then you got to ask yourself at the same time. It's like, well, it's kind of because he never really says anything. Like doesn't really have any opinions on inflation or like.
I'm just saying, like how hard
the
America's being forced to love him. Like, oh, Snoop at the Olympics. Like everyone's going crazy about it. When they find out he was fucking 13-year-old girls on camera because Diddy was trying to do some stuff, they might have thoughts about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those guys are all in for a world of hurt. Yeah, it'll be tricky, like who gets discarded.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing right now. I think they're figuring out who gets discarded in this. Like who are we protecting? Are we?
I think a lot.
Still protect? Yeah.
I think a lot, and I think this is the Hoteps were talking about this a couple weeks ago. That this, you know, I'm just repeating what they're saying, like that there'd be a new era of rap, and that this was like the old school guys, who maybe in their era, their generation, they had to sign the deals with CBS or Viacom, you know, like had to kind of play.
Rihanna said that she went into a hotel room with Jay-Z, said it with her own mouth to Tyra Banks when she was 16 years old. And Jay-Z told her, there are two ways out of this room: sign deal and you walk out the front door, or the 29th floor out the window.
I've seen those interviews.
It's crazy.
I've seen, but it's very tricky because I've seen, like when you read the transcript, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
But when you see the interview,
she's laughing.
She's laughing. He's there. There's like an MTV reporter standing there with a camera. It's clear that it's like being videotaped and it's going to be on television. So it's like, there's an element of like, well, you know, we talk like when we're not on air or whatever, when we're chatting, like we talk a certain way that if you took a transcript that we were talking, it's like, well, what are these people, you know, like arch criminals? You know, it's like, no, it's just, we just talk a certain way that sounds crazy, but it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So when you see the videos of those things, I try to like maybe I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like that does seem like they're just like fucking around and they're like saying shit.
Except for,
but at the same time, maybe he really meant it.
When can't think of his name.
Suge Knight, they try to
when they hung Vanilla Ice out over the fucking balcony by his leg. They were really doing shit like that. Like there really was some weird thug shit going on. Yeah,
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it's just like when you see the interview and you're just like a lot of these tapes, the footage that is coming out with like that looks real weird with Puff Daddy and Dancing with Snoop Dogg or talking to Kevin Hart or whatever, they look really creepy and they look really suspicious. But if you really like critically look at the videos, well, they're being videotaped by someone. Like they know they're being videotaped. They have a microphone in their hand. They're talking into a microphone and they're saying these things. So you kind of have to take that into consideration, that they maybe just kind of running their mouth a little bit, or they're saying things that
Well, I think that
Well, I guess my point
so
is like
they've
they're
been
on camera. There's lights on them. They're on camera. They're talking into a microphone. They're being recorded. Obviously, I believe that most people's instinct is not to start admitting their crimes. Like
sure, but
talking
I
about their
think
crimes in those situations. Maybe
I
they did.
think
Maybe they're so loose and cocky and arrogant that they
no,
didn't
I
really
think that
worry about
that's
it. But,
been like the MO though, is that
you know,
we do discuss our things on tape so that it can be used against them at some level, right? Isn't that like the whole
but if you're
point of
Pete,
all of his videos?
if you're P Diddy though, it's like, well, you dumb fuck, you're on tape and now you're in prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a
Which is
real,
why
like, you are
everyone has
not,
always
then you
said that
must
he
not be a
was like,
mastermind, because it's like he was paying people to go around these parties and videotape them.
yeah.
I'm saying like they're taking clips of like the regular party, right?
Sure.
Where people are just drunk and loose and talking nonsense
Yeah.
Right.
and making it seem making it seem like that's proof of what went on afterwards. And just because you may know that these things went on afterwards, that doesn't mean that these
definitive proof of.
But like
like
that party that I sent you the picture of Lady Gaga.
and I haven't
she's
seen
at,
them all. I haven't seen them all. So yeah, like,
and
you
there's
know,
a little child at that party. It's like, why was there a little child there? Why doesn't she
yeah,
have
that's
any
real
shoes
weird.
on? Why does she look scared? Why is her dress wet on the front? Like,
That's a different story. That's a different story.
but
Like that's a different story,
but
because you're
they're
seeing the
saying that they
pictures of
did
like a
have
kid.
these rooms where there were that people knew that there were kids there for other
Well,
stuff,
we're
and
talking
that no
about two
one
different
did
things though.
anything.
We're talking about, when you say they're saying they were doing all these things, yes, there are people that have like done depositions and have said that, and
Yeah.
they've said it on camera. That's different from the videos that we're seeing where it's like there's a camera person at a party and they're being paid to videotape Diddy, and Diddy's talking to Kevin Hart and they're talking about,
Oh, like when
hey,
he
let's get in
did,
this bathtub, whatever, you know. It's like, I don't think that's like, they're not going to admit their crimes in that scenario. I mean, they may be doing things afterwards, but like, I don't think that a lot of that stuff is as damning of evidence as it looks like. Now, trust me, I'm laughing at it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny that every video of Snoop Dogg and P. Diddy that you see now is like comes
under scrutiny.
Is like played with like a romantic, like, like porn music or something.
Right.
I think it's funny, but I don't necessarily think it's like damning, because it's like, I mean, I imagine like me and my friends are partying in like 1992 in a house, drunk and just doing all kinds of drugs.
It's hard for people to wrap their mind around the debauchery that is surrounded in this. It's child.
That goes beyond debauchery though. That's criminal
let's
stuff.
Let's talk about the charges. It's child
sex
trafficking. So
again, that's gonna
big. It's a big.
This is the whole thing. That's the whole thing they're doing, is they're wrapping all this together, and they're connecting debauchery among adults, willing adults, with child trafficking. And it's like, these are separate things. Debauchery is if Snoop and Puffy want to rail each other, you know, while Kevin Hart watches and tells jokes or whatever, like, that's debauchery. Like, now, like, enslaving people and kidnapping people and child that's a whole other thing that they'll have to prove. And those things are not proof of one another. So I mean, like, I'm trying to say, like, I got no problem with this guy going down. I think obviously, like, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of bad values being thrown on us. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if he somehow gets out of it or walks somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he literally opened fire in a club in the early or the late 90s with J-Lo when she was wearing that Versace dress. Completely no charges filed, which everybody kind of thought, you know, that he was a CIA, whatever. But I mean, I think that they're just going to see.
Well, isn't the story that like
there were people that
were protecting him at the time that then they railroad someone else for that deal?
Yeah, they did.
So
yeah,
there was probably a point in time where P. Diddy was like young and didn't really know what he was doing. And then like, what's that guy? Clive Owen was like, hey man,
yeah.
Clive Davis was like, let me teach you a few.
Yeah, they're saying it's so
This is how you build a basement.
Yeah.
This is how you make a proper basement, son.
Yeah.
This is where
and Bill Cosby
let me take
gave
into
us
my lube room. Clive Davis is like let me show you my let me introduce you to Harry. He's my carpenter.
Yeah.
Let me show you this lube room he built for me. You gotta have 1,000 bottles minimum all time, son.
So sick.
1,000 bottles all the time. Like if you don't have 1,000 bottles, you're an amateur. I saw the Clive Davis clip. The Clive Davis clip where he's going into some theater or something, and the reporter on the street is asking him what he thought, and he was trying to pretend like he didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
He does look like he's like, oh, like he's so frail and
he's
old
like, who?
now.
P who?
Yeah.
Diddy who?
Yeah.
Which I mean, to be honest, when I'm old, I'm gonna be using that for everything.
Yeah.
Who?
When I'm like 87 years old, like,
bro,
what do you mean 1,000 bottles of lube is too much? I'm just an old man. I don't know what's going on. You use that for everything.
You know what? Now is not the time to start collecting lube. So let it be 1,000 bottles of something else. Okay.
Johnson, I mean, I would just like, I want a time machine. I want the ability to teletransport myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not to right the wrongs of the past, but I want to transport myself into the Johnson & Johnson marketing meeting this past week.
Sure.
Where they're just like, hey, everybody, this is not good. Like,
right.
This is not good. We're being associated with gay rappers. Like our baby oil is the lube of gay rappers.
This is worse than the arsenic thing, where they knowingly put arsenic in baby powder since 1979 and gave no fucks about it. To this day.
We need to get those guys from Q-Tips, the Q-Tip division over here with all those lawsuits about getting the people stabbing their brain. We need to get them over here to talk about this because we got to take some action. We need
Johnson & Johnson for real.
We need to get some. We need to take some. We need to change the label. We need to change the bottle. Like we need to change the baby oil bottle to blue now. Like it can't be pink anymore.
Trust with our babies, Johnson & Johnson. Like,
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Because everybody's doctor back then was Dr. Johnson.
This one's going to be a violence episode. Watch.
So but talk about Johnson. The meetings, they got to be like, maybe we should go with like a square bottle now. like maybe we should switch to like.
I think they should embrace it and just go full like anal. You know, like.
There's probably some new guy.
Purpose, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like a dual purpose bottle.
There's probably some new guy lube, that was like,
you just use.
We should change the lube. We should change the baby oil packaging, and then like, let's do some kind of promo with some rappers. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, they could have Paris Hilton like she did.
It's like no. Then the senior guy's like, nah, that's not a good connection to make. But yeah, let's turn the bottle to different shape. Maybe add some food coloring to the baby oil, so it's not. We got to change it. Like, just call it J&J. Like, change the name. Like, they might even sell off the whole division. You know what I mean? Like Johnson, just sell off the whole baby oil division.
Why are we oiling up babies anyways? They're hard enough to fucking hold. Why is anyone oiling up a baby?
Yeah,
we putting oil on a baby. So stupid.
We would get that.
It's such a lie.
Just put it in like a tub. We put it in the tub sometimes.
Waste onto our children. It's literally, that's all it is. It's a way to put the plastic and sludge that they can't fucking get rid of onto our children to make them sick, clog their pores, make their skin all fucked up.
That makes them smell pretty good.
Babies.
Makes them smell pretty good. It's the smell of babies. What are you talking about?
Like babies are so stinky. Like babies are just.
Yeah, they don't. You know.
If you wash them, they're not stinky.
The baby oil. You got to put some baby oil in the tub to get them smelling good, like a diaper, like a fresh diaper.
Oh yeah. Well, oh god, don't get me started.
Now I was just gonna say, like we had like
Thursday,
a little bottle,
it's not Friday,
but we
so I don't have time for this.
But we would always get something if they had like dry skin or whatever. We would get something else. But then every now and then, like I think we probably still have like a little bottle of baby oil that we had from like when our son was born 12 years ago.
Why do you need 1,000 bottles? Back to my original point. One bottle would have been enough for all of the white parties.
Well, we'll get into that next week. We'll really get it. We'll take a deep dive into all of P. Diddy and Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart's baby oil usage. I mean, like, slip and slides.
I like that you're just throwing Kevin Hart right in there. It's because he's short.
Yeah, like any name that pops in. Like Hart. I got no problem with like all kinds of collateral damage on this one.
And Oprah. Oprah been oiled up too.
Any of these guys, on. It's like they're like, oh, this is not fair. Like with these stuff they're saying about me, it's like, well, last time I checked, you go see in concert cost me like $200. So it's like I don't really care about you anymore. Yeah, like
womp womp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like like they'll just give you like just because of whatever, they'll just give you like $20 million to say you drink Sprite. Like,
yeah. And you don't even like Sprite, like Adam Carolla with Mountain Dew. Ridiculous.
Yeah, not really concerned about you, Kevin Hart or whatever. I mean, whatever. If you didn't do it, all that stuff, fine. But
blah blah blah.
They're all. I mean, it's
mad on this.
What are the? In all fairness, though, it is pretty dodgy that Weinstein, like, there's all kinds of celebrities that are on tape saying they all knew what was going on. You know what I mean? And there's nothing happened to them at all.
That's my point about the parties. If you fucking knew, you should be in trouble.
But shut it down. Everybody in P. Diddy's, I bet we'll see what kind of happens here. Everybody, like a lot of people in P. Diddy's circle.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
It might be a little different. It might be a little bit, well, you should have known, you should have said something. You're done. You're canceled. But Meryl Streep and Jennifer Lawrence and all the Harvey Weinstein's gal pals and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't really need to punish them for.
I'm just going to put this out.
Taking showers with Harvey.
I hope that at some point a picture of Stephen Hawking's at a Diddy party comes out.
Oh my God.
Like it did with him on Epstein Island.
Oh my God.
That's my hope.
Oh yeah.
That's how I want to end this. I want to end tonight thinking about that possibly there's a video or picture of Stephen Hawking at a Diddy party doing something like he was at the island with the two girls had him all propped up.
Oh, what about like what about Stephen Hawking? Why can't it be like Tom Hanks? You didn't see
that picture of him?
Why can't it be like Tom Hanks? I've seen that.
Did you see that picture of Stephen Hawking's at the island where he was like propped up with these two young, beautiful girls? I hope that there's also proof that everybody thinks he's like the world's genius. Fucking pervert. Okay. Well, I want him at the Diddy party too, all oiled up. I want to see what.
I feel like the Epstein Island was enough. I'd rather see like someone new get tied up in like Tom Hanks or something.
Tom Hanks is already got tied up.
Not enough.
Isaac Cappy. Google Isaac Cappy. Go down an Isaac Cappy rabbit hole on TikTok. Yeah.
I've seen that stuff. Yeah.
Steve. All right.
Another rabbit hole.
I know. Happy Thursday. Happy Fake
Friday. Yeah, buddy. Have a good Friday and a great weekend.
Yes. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yes. Thanks for doing Thursday night. See y'all soon.
Time.
Get it on,
everybody.
Get it on.